Well, after 20 years, after that historic walk from Melbourne to Canberra, AFL legend Michael Long will do it all again, making the 650-kilometre journey to federal parliament. This time to lend his support for the yes vote in the upcoming Indigenous Voice to Parliament referendum. Joining me now live is Michael Long. Michael, thank you so much for joining us today. So 650 kilometres, that's quite the trek. Are you ready to do it all again?
Well, got a little bit of training to do, but obviously bringing forth the 20th year anniversary was really important that we supported the Yes campaign and what a way forward as a nation. I think this is really important, just the whole weekend, the lead up to the Dreamtime at the G. So, yeah, it's going to be enormous, and we want a lot of Australians to come and support and get behind us.
And just on that, you said you've still got a bit of training to do. You've, of course, done this before. You did it in 2004 to meet with the then Prime Minister, John Howard. So how are you preparing for this time round?
Well, I suppose it's 20 years later, so we're not as young as we used to be, but it's important that using the baton to pass on to other people to be a part of it and come along for a day. We had other people years ago, 20 years ago, that stayed for a week. Some stayed the whole journey, so that's important. We want to bring Australians along with us. It's important for us to reach out in the messages and about bringing people together.
And you're doing this, of course, for the Yes campaign for the Voice to Parliament. Why do you feel so strongly about this? What does it mean to you?
Well, I suppose this is what we fought for years ago, why we walked to Canberra, where we were as a nation. And it was about asking where was the love for the Aboriginal people of Australia. That was one of the main questions we asked John Howard when we walked to Canberra, because of the issues that we face as a nation: life expectancy, health, education. These are things that, you know, we live in the greatest country of all, and it shouldn't be like this. And it's for us to put our hand up, but most importantly, to have a voice at the highest level.
And in that 20 years, how far do you think Australia has come in trying to overcome some of the challenges that you mentioned?
Well, I think, like, I've seen what football has done, and it's changed a lot over time. And as a nation, I think we've still have come a long way. But most importantly, I think when we did walk, ATSIC had been abolished, and that was the only voice and vision that we'd had for Indigenous Australia. So this is something we've been talking about for a while, and now it's our opportunity as a nation to put that in place, in its rightful place.
What do you make of recent polling showing that support for the Voice has actually dropped? What more needs to be done, in your view, to get this over the line?
Well, I suppose it's about raising the awareness, what this means, what's it about the First Nations people. But it's also a spotlight on the nation of where we are and where we've come and where we want to see ourselves as a nation. And that's the important part. And I think as one of the oldest cultures in the world, it should have its rightful place in this nation, which is really important.
So, Michael, when are you planning to embark on this trek?
I think it's later in the year. We're working out the logistics. It'll probably be about 30 days before the referendum. So we'd love people to follow us once we release information as we go along before the referendum.
Michael Long will be checking in on you on your journey. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.